the Honor Magic 8 Pro. This is Honor's flagship device of 2026. And we've both had it for, I mean, how long have you had it for? I've had it for about 3 months, but the latest software update was kind of like about, I'd say, month and a half, 2 months ago.
Yeah, I've had mine for about 2 months. Right, almost 2 months, yeah.
Well, it's a solid device overall. I've got it in the Sunrise Gold, which is quite nice. Design relatively remains the same, right? So if you look at the Honor Magic 8 Pro versus the Honor Magic 7 Pro, very similar. You've got a similar looking camera module. However, there are some tweaks. It's now got 2.5D micro curved glass, which is not as curved. We've got an IP68, IP69, as well as an IP69K rating. So it's going to be better for water resistance against high pressure jets and things like that, which I'm not sure how useful that will be for most people. But anyway, what I do like about it, and I've said this before about Honor devices, is that the camera module actually acts as a good rest for your finger. So when you're holding it, it does act as a good rest. And it's also quite nicely balanced, right? So when you, yeah, there you go. And when you like kind of, you know, with other phones, they're usually a bit top heavy, but if you try to balance this in the middle of your finger, right, it generally, it's like, if you find the center point of it, there you go, look at that. It will balance, because I think they've really done a good job in terms of weighing it up. You can't do it. It's a skill.
No, it's too high. The camera is too high. I didn't want to raise it up.
Yeah.
Come on, whatever. Continue.
So design's pretty good. I can see you've got a slightly different color to mine. You've got the Sky Cyan, I believe.
Yes.
Or is that the, no, is that the black?
No.
Can't tell.
That's the, yes, that's the, I forgot the color name, but it's basically like, it's like a space gray, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the standard black. I've got the Sunrise Gold. It's also available in the Sky Cyan. Now, what was interesting with the Honor Magic 8 Pro is they released it in China, and then the release in the West has been delayed till 2026, right? So now it's out, but they do go for this kind of staggered launch, which, you know, it is what it is. Cameras, we've got some improvements in terms of the cameras now. So they've got pretty large size sensors for both the primary camera as well as the 200 megapixel ultra night telephoto camera. Now, one thing that they have gotten rid of on the primary camera, which I was quite disappointed about, was the dual aperture. So if you remember the Honor Magic 7 Pro, you could switch the aperture. This is now gone, but they've kind of opted for more stabilization. So this has a new stabilization engine, and it's got this SEPA 5.5 rated. So it's like some of the high stabilization. What that allows you to do, you'll see some side-by-side examples, is it lets you take a longer shutter speed in low light conditions without adding camera shake, which essentially gives you better low light images from the primary camera as well as the 200 megapixel ultra night telephoto camera. And Honor are saying that this is the largest 200 megapixel telephoto sensor in the industry, and the results do speak for themselves. Low light images are amazing on this.
Yeah, I would agree. The images come out pretty sharp and well. I used it when I went to Nigeria this past December. Had some really cool images from there. I was quite impressed with what I saw from Honor.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good, I think, especially for the telephoto camera. We still do have the AI enhanced zoom. The only thing I would say with the AI enhanced zoom is that it does need an internet connection. It does an amazing job. What you see is not really what you're seeing. It's obviously enhancing it. But having said that, it does look really good. And other devices like, say, for example, the Google Pixels, they don't need an internet connection for AI enhanced zoom. So that is one thing that you're going to kind of, I mean, not to say that most people, wherever you are, you're going to have an internet connection, but say, for instance, if you are somewhere out, you don't have reception, and you try to do AI enhanced zoom, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to give you a standard shot. So that's one thing that I would have liked. Software, MagicOS 10, 7 years of software and security updates, which brings it in line with the competition of Samsung and Google. Amazing. And then we have what Honor call an AI button. All right, so this is pretty much, you know, camera control button. It's in the exact same place as the camera control button that we've got on the iPhone. Looks like a lot of manufacturers are adopting this, right? We've seen it on many devices now, especially Chinese devices, they think this is a good idea, so they've also adopted it. I still don't find myself using it much, I'm going to be honest with you, even on the Honor Magic 8 Pro. How about yourself?
First time now.
So
I'm serious.
this is the
I don't use that button even on the iPhone either. So
Yeah, same.
yeah.
I don't use that button on the iPhone. I think what they've done is, because they put it in the same place as the iPhone, I think you have to pick either one or the other. Do you want it to be something that's used when you have the phone in landscape, or do you want it to be something when it's portrait? Because it's too low when you're in portrait and it's too far in when you're in landscape. So it just kind of trying to make it the best of both worlds has kind of made it the worst of both worlds. One of the things I
Yeah.
do like is you can half press it to kind of focus, which is pretty cool. You know how you can do on a normal camera.
Yeah.
And if you do long press it, then you can do things like AI summary and stuff. So they have tried to kind of extend it to not just be a camera button, but nevertheless, it's not something that I find myself using. One of the things that I do like, and this is something that I found myself kind of missing when I was on my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8, sorry, Fold 7. I'm skipping ahead. There's one AI feature called AI outpainting. I really like this. So basically what it does is, say you've got a landscape image and you want to make that into a portrait image or a square image. All you do is just use AI outpainting, and it's going to use AI to kind of fill in those blanks. And this is something that for some reason many others don't have, but I really like this on here and I found myself using quite a lot. So it is pretty cool. It's got a bunch of other AI features, right? One of the ones that I did find myself using was connecting it with the Mac. So you've got one tap share, so you can actually mirror your Honor phone onto your Mac. So if you're using a Mac, if you're a Mac user, yes, we're going to be getting AirDrop soon, but this is kind of takes it a little bit ahead. Performance, Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. So as expected, performance is great. How have you found the gaming experience?
Solid. I mean, Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 is pretty much on par the best on that platform. Temperature's actually been running pretty well, but I would say it's what you expect from that processor, and also at least what Honor has done. It's not a gaming phone in that regard, but when you have that processor, every phone is a gaming phone at this point.
Exactly. You don't necessarily need to go out and get a game phone. What's
Yeah.
interesting about the battery, however, is that the default battery for global regions, 7,100 milliamps, right? Okay, so that's right up there with, the likes of the OnePlus 15,
Hmm.
the Oppo Find X9 Pro and stuff, which, have these larger than 7,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon batteries. However, in the EU, so if you're in Europe and some regions, you're going to get a slightly smaller 6,270 milliamp hour battery, right? Now, it's still silicon carbon and it's still relatively large. So it's going to be larger than, what you're going to get on, say, for example, the S26 series, but it's just not as good as what you'll be getting. Now, apparently this is due to certification standards and component sourcing, logistics, which doesn't matter to the consumer, but you will be getting a slightly smaller battery in Western regions, which is kind of annoying.
Isn't the OnePlus 7,000 in the UK regions?
Yes, it's 7,300, but I think the way OnePlus have gone past this, and which is quite clever, is they split the cell into two, right? So
Yeah. Okay.
technically,
Yeah.
it's not a 7,300 milliamp hour battery, it's two 3,650 milliamp hour batteries,
No
right?
balance. Okay.
And that
Makes sense.
also helps with the charging. So, Honor, maybe that's what you need to do, like work out how OnePlus have gone past this. Also, I think OnePlus don't ship out as many units as some of the others. So maybe that's one of the reasons why, component sourcing is a little bit easier for them. I don't know. So that is definitely a negative if you are in one of the regions where you get a slightly smaller battery. However, having said that, battery life is still very good. I have the global version. So yeah, very good. 2-day phone, easy. 100 watts of wired charging, which actually came out the box of my unit because it was a global version. You probably won't get it if you're in Europe, so there's that as well.
No.
80 watts of wireless charging as well. Now, with the display, this is probably one of the best displays when it comes to eye comfort. So it's an OLED display, 6.71 inches, 120 hertz, up to 6,000 nits of partial peak brightness. Resolution is not quite as high as some of the others, but still pretty good. And then we've got the Honor AI comfort, which is 4,320 Hz PWM dimming. It's a
Mm-hmm.
circular polarized display 2.0, and it's also got the industry's first professional grade ambient light detection. So that's 20,000 Hz ultra high sampling for flicker detection, right? So very, very good display. I'd say this is easily the most comfortable display when it comes to using this in, the dark, and just, something that's kind of brushed over a lot by the manufacturers, but this is something that Honor is definitely the market leader in. So amazing display. Now there is this pill-shaped cutout on the display, and that's because not only do we have a selfie camera in there, but we also have a 3D depth sensor, which gives you secure facial unlock. And this is something that, we've talked about before. I love this because it gives you secure facial unlock as well as an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, right? So it's got the best of both worlds. Some people will say, "Oh yeah, my phone has facial unlock," and it's just like, no. I don't know if you saw, Idris Elba. He
Yeah, dude.
had his he had his Madden Swords figure, and he unlocked his phone, but it was a Samsung phone. So it's like technically it's not Face ID, right? So I wonder if using 3D facial unlock would also work on there, but something we'd have to test. So Idris, if you're free, let's test this out.
Definitely.
But speakers sound really good. Actually, somebody who is a speaker expert, what do you think?
Speakers are good. I mean, they're solid. Right now, the best speakers are from Poco. I just put it that way.
Poco.
Yes, the F8 Ultra that has a built-in subwoofer from Bose. There's nothing that comes close. It is very, very good.
Fair enough.
But back to Honor. Honor they're very good speakers on that as well. So I think on that department, I would say the way this device is balanced is one of those things where there's a part of me was like, why isn't this global already? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is everything you want in this device is there. I'm
Mhm.
just like, Honor, like, why are you waiting? Like, what's the wait? Come on, this is too long. Especially when, when we started this segment, you're like, oh, I've had this for 3 months. Not the 2 weeks,
Yeah.
is like 3 months. I'm like, I've had it for 2 months. Like,
Yeah.
it makes no
This
sense.
is the thing. It's one of those because of like it comes out first in China, but then the excitement isn't really as much when it comes out globally because it's like, oh, it's already been out and you've already seen it. There's already been people who have imported it in and done some tests on it
Yeah.
and stuff. So kind of does lose the excitement somewhat by having it a little bit later. Pricing, we've not been given as yet. We'll leave the pricing information linked down below. Honor tend to have some amazing pre-order offers, right? And they really do give you some big discounts or some free products alongside the device if you do decide to get it. So it does work out to be a much better deal compared to some of its competitors, like say the S26 Ultra, whenever it's going to come out. So when you do consider those factors, it's a really good overall package, and it's going to be one of the contenders for top 5 smartphones in the first part of the year anyway.
I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them.